Welcome back. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming The Rings of Power. This time, it's episode 3 of season 2, titled The Eagles and the Scepter.
Ooh, will they feature in the episode?
We don't know.
Will tell.
Presumably you know the answer if you're listening to this. Mm-hmm. We don't know, though. You can email the show at streamingthingspod@gmail.com for any queries, perhaps, or your thoughts on the show.
I love this boy. Whole episode.
If you're into Game of Thrones and other dope shit, you can go to patreon.com/streamingthings and subscribe at a variety of tiers depending on your wealth level. You can get so many different rewards. At the $10 tier and above, you can join our community in the Discord. People have never regretted it.
No.
Nary a regret. People have left quietly.
But they didn't regret it.
They enjoyed their time there.
They're like, I get it.
But all kinds of stuff. Extra bonus episodes in September. It's going to be Dune Part 2 will be one of the Patreon-only episodes.
How you doing?
How you doing? And we'll create a poll. Haven't thought of that yet, so there'll be a second movie there. But every week, man, every Tuesday or Wednesday, it's Game of Thrones. We're plowing through season 2 of that as well. So don't miss out on that. People love it. People love it. It's Monday as you're listening to this. It's the last of like the first 3 episode dumps that Amazon Prime Video did for the Rings of Power season 2. So Thursday, you'll get episode 4, and then it'll be every Thursday thereafter. By 9 a.m. Eastern Standard, you'll be able to listen to each episode. So we're still looking to start the Penguin coverage as well. So look forward to that later on in the month. And also at the top of the show, I want you to know tickets are still available for the Streaming Things live show October 5th at the Woodward Theater in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's going to be an extravaganza, an orgy of fun and nerd discussion.
A fun and nerd discussion.
Yeah, I was using a metaphor.
Yeah, okay.
Unless
a 3-way of enjoyment.
Well, there will be 3 ways for people that have never been to Cincinnati before.
Yeah.
You can go to Skyline or Gold Star or Dixie Chili and get you one.
Get you one. They're delicious. We're going to be doing Lord of the Rings themed D&D trivia campaign on the live show. A lot of fun. We did this for Stranger Things.
It sounds.
It's really fun.
The nerdiest thing you can possibly imagine.
Yep.
But like comedy style, you know, Steve devises a game. You can listen to the Stranger Things version of our D&D campaign episode. It was a hit. People loved it. It was a hoot and a holler for the Southerners out there. Oh shit, both of them. And I've seen a hoot and I've seen a holler. I've never seen them together. Never the twain shall meet.
No.
I love Mark Twain.
A starship. Sorry. That's
Sean Connery?
That's the Star Trek Mark Twain.
Okay.
He came to me in a starship.
You're never beating the nerd allegations.
No.
Anywho,
My face hurts.
what we're going to do is talk about Rings of Power. I swear to God. We'll talk about our overall thoughts on episode 3, and then we'll go through a scene-by-scene, play-by-play recap and review. Cap it all off with our old Tobeys, our finest moments in the South Farthing. I got a little Southern on that one. Colonel Sanders loves Lord of the Rings. And then we'll do our second breakfast, our
Second breakfast.
tidbits and bits, the Easter eggs, behind the scenes stuff. And then our one performance to rule them all. Our favorite performance of the episode will end these shenanigans. Are you all ready?
So ready.
I'm ready.
Let's do this, SpongeBob. Andy, what were your thoughts on episode 3?
I thought episode 3 was good. Not as good as 1 and 2, but I still had a really good time. The biggest thing that I took away from this episode, and we'll get into it, but I had a good time with Isildur. And up to this point, every time that he has popped on screen in season 1, I was like, oh, fuck, here we go again. Like, what a letdown of a character that is legendary, right? I actually had a really good time with him last night. We got backstory.
Go on.
Last night.
Go on.
So there were plugs. I thought that he was great. We get Eärien coming back, and there's some really cool action. Definitely the episode drags in some spots, but I had a good time with it.
Steve, what did you think of episode 3?
Okay. Let me. This episode, I have thoughts.
Take us on a journey.
There's a couple things that happened this episode. I'm like, wow, that is a very brave choice. I'm here for it. That's so brave. Let's go. A whole 10-minute opening of a horse that we barely knew from the first season. I'm down. It's just silly enough to work. But this is really the first season, or the first episode this season, where, you know, I've been talking so much so far, like this season has been benefiting from a more focused approach to their storytelling. Like, let's focus on 2 sets of characters, and that way their story can kind of grow a little bit more fleshed out. You know, you don't feel like you're being tossed around Middle Earth that often.
But you might be into that, but
you might be.
Yeah.
And this season, or this episode does that well. Unfortunately, it's with the part of the cast that for the first season I was the least interested in. Like anything Númenor, anything Theo, I just was not super into in the first season. So when this episode started, I was like, here we go. Let's see how they handle this whole side of things. And to be fair, I think they do a pretty good job. Like to Andy's point, I think this is the best Isildur has looked so far in the show. But at the same time, this was the first time this season where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting the flashbacks from the first season of like, you know, oh, wow, first season 1 started off so strong, but then in the middle, it really sagged and dragged. And my first thought was like, oh no, this is where it starts.
Sagging and dragging.
Sagging and dragging.
Like an 80-year-old man.
And honestly, I was kind of confused because, you know, the first season when it came out, the first day it dropped episodes 1 and 2. And then it began the weekly, you know, release schedule. This season it drops 1, 2, and 3 and then begins the... So I was kind of shocked, like, man, if you ended on episode 2, I would be so hyped. Like, oh, next week, can't wait.
Dwarves getting rings.
Dwarves getting rings. This is great. Ending on this episode, I feel like, I don't know if that's the smart choice, because for me, as someone who had worries going into the season, who has sort of not a great taste in their mouth about this set of characters, I understand, like, you kind of want to show, yeah, they're still in the show, be excited, but in a way, I'm like, this is the weakest episode of the 3 by far for me. And so I'm kind of like, why did you end the 3-episode arc here? Because you in theory, you would want to leave it in a place where like, oh, we got the viewers hooked, come back next week, it's exciting. I feel like if anyone had any sort of trepidation with this show or had any bad feelings about last season, this is the episode that kind of brings that stuff up again. And I feel like this might backfire where people are like, they're already doing what they did last season. I don't like it. I don't know if it's worth continuing. That's my fear. I don't know if that'll actually manifest itself, but it definitely was kind of like, you know, it's not a bad episode. It's still better than a lot of what happened last season. But this was the first time so far this season where I was just kind of like, ooh, okay, not super thrilled. Yeah, so that's my thoughts overall for this episode.
I think they ended it. They did the 3-episode move because, you know, this ends the cliffhanger at the forging of the Dwarven rings, you know, and a lot of the stuff that goes on in those parts of the story are still really strong in this episode. It's the humans that suck.
Right.
And I don't actually remember anything that I've said ever. It's definitely not about the Rings of Power, but I would guess it was the Númenorian plotline that I hated last season. And it's definitely not helping the show for me at all. Again, I loved the first 2 episodes because they weren't in it.
Right.
Is my slinking suspicion. And I only liked one human, and that was Bronwyn.
Yeah, the first episode of this season, you were like, man, I miss Bronwyn. Can't wait to see her again.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Turns out that that actress has decided not to return, which is the same thing that Joseph Mawley did for Adar. We never talked about why, but it was his choice not to return as Adar. And Nanzanine Boniati, who plays Bronwyn, is a very strong activist for women's rights. She's from Iran. And I imagine it has something to do with that. She's very active in that. She's busy doing more important things, right? So anyway, but I was devastated to find out what happens to Bronwyn in this episode and how they ended up, you know, they didn't recast her. They just killed her off screen.
Yeah. and
Steve texted me and
wild.
said, "You're gonna fucking scream when you watch episode 3." And I said, "In a good way?" And he said, "No." And I was like, "Oh, I can't imagine what that would be." And it's funny because when I started watching episode 3 after he said that, I hate the stuff with Beric the horse so much that I thought that's what Steve was talking about. But it gets worse.
We're still on the horse.
It gets worse. But yeah, I just, in general, as far as the Rings of Power, I love Durin and Disa. I fucking love Elrond and Galadriel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning to enjoy Gil-galad. But all the stuff with the elves and the dwarves, it's great. You know, I love Eärien. But anything with that, with a human, I fucking hate Theo. I don't give a shit about Míriel. Isildur's a bitch. Elendil, I don't care. Eärien, who the fuck are you? Pharazôn, get out of here. I think that it's their attempt to do like a Game of Thrones type thing. We've got human machinations occurring, right?
Yeah, some political machinations.
And they're not doing it well.
If you
they're
ever-
not conniving in the gardens well, you know?
If you ever wanted to see the January 6th insurrection coded in a fantasy realm, congratulations, this is the episode for you. You want to see an eagle show up where you have to wear red, white, and blue, and someone usurps the leader of the free kingdoms of Númenor? Boy, howdy, get your zip ties. We're going to war.
My notes at the end of this episode say Míriel claims the palantír. They January 6th. An eagle arrives.
Dude, we get to it, but I love that part. We'll get to it, but I love that part when the eagle shows up. They're like, the eagle loves Pharazôn. The eagle's like, what? You invited me here. I'm leaving. And like, he still loves him.
I'm going to go pluck an old man off a tower. I'm out of here. Yeah. So this was by far my least favorite of the first 3 episodes. It's not even close for sure, but it should be fun to talk about. And we shall see. People are pretty upset that orcs have families now. How are you guys feeling about that?
People are upset by that?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because they're racist.
People hate people like hardcore racists and other people who have some legitimate concerns, but maybe take the lore a little too serious, already hate the show. And now they see that as Tolkien's rolling in his grave. Now we got to sympathize with the orcs, right? And I think it's interesting, but I wonder how you guys feel about, can we just have like a species that's just evil anymore in a story? Or do you think it's really cool what they're doing, making them like this kind of misunderstood, ugly creature? There's like children orcs and stuff.
I think it's a really good choice because, I mean, functionally, where do orcs come from? We know Uruk-hai come from the ground.
Yeah, I would say they do grow them and stuff.
Where
sometimes.
do orcs come from? There's always like, you're half orc and half elf and all that type of shit. There's characters like that.
In the lore, orcs are just like
dark elves, right?
Fallen elves. Yeah,
Right.
They're just angels that went to hell, right?
And elves have families, so why can't the fallen ones have families? Do they get like
The reproductive systems just dry
demons
up.
don't have babies though,
But also, like, the thing that I love specifically what they're doing with this show is that they're insinuating that the orcs have agency. They're not they're not great, but they're not necessarily evil. That's why they follow Adar, because Adar is like a orcs rights activist that's trying to lead them to the promised land and make them free, and they can live their lives. And however the story ends in the Rings of Power, it ends with Sauron having complete control and dominion over orcs in a way that maybe seems like it's more magical. And that's why they're like a purely evil race, is because Sauron just controls their minds over the flesh. And maybe they're not aware of it, but they don't technically have the agency and awareness to know that they're being enslaved technically. And I kind of like that because that makes the orcs more interesting and more tragic of a culture, because they've just been completely usurped by a greater power that has complete dominion over them.
I mean, I feel like they just went from like 100% evil to 98. So it doesn't affect it that much more for me. It's just
have we seen
cool
any?
that now they have a little bit of motivation.
Have we
God
seen any
forbid.
female orcs? I can't recall.
Oh,
I'm sure we have at some point. Like we just might
can't tell.
They just might not have the stereotypical gendered
Orcussy?
like look that we or Orcussy. Dude, that Orcussy's good.
You didn't have to go that far. You didn't have to throw out a preference.
Get in there. We're going to start selling some plugs.
The orcracy is good, my lord. The roots go deep.
Hey, you're like, stop now. Far enough. That's my role.
Looks like ass is back on the menu.
They're fresh.
Why would there not be female orcs? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
As far as what's it called? You know, like a Pokédex, but for like the real word for that.
For Pokédex?
Yeah, like zoology, like a fantasy book, a bestiary. There we go.
Oh, bestiary.
Yeah. It's like a Pokédex.
I like the Pokédex.
Pokédex.
I'm not wrong.
Where's my Lord of the Rings Pokédex?
Is it bestiary? I've always pronounced it bestiary.
I mean, it's only BES.
Yeah,
I know
fair.
it's a beast thing,
Right,
but it's
yeah,
like just reading, hooked on phonics style.
Just reading.
Just reading.
Just me reading here.
Just me reading.
Anyhoozle.
Andy, do you have any thoughts on that? Like,
just what I said, that like 98% evil instead of 100. Like, I don't think that it hurts the story at all to let them have a little bit of motivation as opposed to just, we want to kill. You know what I mean?
I love the notion that they don't like Sauron either.
Yeah.
And, you know, the orcs that we've seen heretofore, 2,000 years later, like Steve said, have just been completely subjugated, and they don't have a lot of like societal value to begin with. Mm-hmm. So once manipulated by the deceiver, it's like, wow, fuck them. Mm-hmm. You know, you'd rather hang out with Shelob than most orcs.
Would you?
I don't know.
if by hang out, you mean probably like just in a web.
Hang around. Speaking of Shelob,
I want to go home.
Let's get into this because this is wild to me. It starts off with some dudes and hanging out with Elendil, and it's Isildur, who they believe is dead. His horse, Beric, won't listen to anybody, and he runs off. We find out very shortly that it's because he senses where his master is. I gotta find Bubba.
Were you sitting on that one, or was
no,
that off
that
the
was
cuff?
just
That was pretty good. I gotta find Bubba.
I've always got Forrest Gump quotes right underneath my consciousness.
I want to go home.
And I think I'll go home now. And then so we cut to wait. Oh yeah, the orcs that find it's a four leg. They don't
be afraid, four legs.
They don't know what horses are.
I love that little touch.
We don't have a bestiary.
No.
Check the Pokédex.
And then fucking they try to like catch him or something, and he like
They're gonna fuck that horse. You know they are.
Orcus, he's not as good as one would think.
That's one would think. You know, disappointed.
We don't even like.
Had high expectations.
I'd much rather fuck this horse than my orc wife.
Barb.
But think about it, they don't ride horses. That's what they think the humans are doing. A little inappropriate before a battle, but
They're rubbing it in our faces.
let me get some of that four legs. But no,
Oh my God.
he's not coming off of it.
But dude, like when Beric kicks the one into like a fucking Mortal Kombat tree, it just gets impaled. I'm just like, dude, Beric has a higher body count than most characters in Lord of the Rings.
Beric is a way too, what's the word? Sentient, you know? It was giving Artax.
I've got to find Bubba.
Because they're like, oh, he went into the Shadow Forest. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Move, Artax.
So before that scene, it looks like Beric is going through the little town that Theo and Bronwyn are from, right? But it's destroyed now.
Yeah.
And then they're like, he's going to the Shadow Forest. When was the Shadow Forest right next door to our main character's house? If that's indeed what was
It
happening.
was the other way. We never went there. Yeah. And then my notes are, oh shit, he's showing them the meaning of haste.
Oh, dang.
Learn it. And then my next note. His hasties nuts. I already hate this episode in my notes. I'm enjoying it now and like in the memory. But he goes into the Black Forest.
I wrote like, because he goes to the Black Forest, like you said, and then he sees like a cave and decides to go into the cave. And I'm like, Barrick must have watched Empire Strikes Back and know you go into the caves, you take only what you take with you.
And he finds fucking Isildur hanging there. And it's got to be like a remember Shelob kind of thing, right? We've got to be near where that tower is.
Yeah.
And Frodo looks fucking crazy when he's got the venom in him.
Is this like a little baby Shelob? Like,
I don't know if it's a Shelob hasn't grown up yet or it's just an ancestor.
You think Shelob's like a 2,000-year-old spider? That'd be fucking wild.
Maybe. I mean, it is much bigger than this one. Yeah. So it like kind of, it's hinting, or is it bigger? Because all we've ever seen them interact with is hobbits, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what if Shelob's just a little spider and Frodo's like, fuck?
I just Googled Shelob age.
Okay. That's useful.
Shelob is somewhere between 6,460 to 7,092 years of age by the time Frodo encountered her.
Wow, that probably is Shelob.
I'm glad your Googling has improved. I was worried you were going to say the answer is Shelob age.
Shelob age. Shelob age. Holy shit. People also ask, was Shelob Sauron's lover? Ooh, going into this.
Let's go.
Don't go down a rabbit hole,
Further,
Steve.
her memories betray her as the former lover of Sauron, who ultimately betrayed her.
Shelob Bussy?
Now that's as good as you think.
And anyway, he finds a Isildur, and Isildur takes a blade from a nearby orc corpse, except, oh no, it's not an orc corpse. He's like, that's my knife. And he starts fighting him. And then they have a battle, but the fucking spider like eats the top of that orc's head off.
Fucking pops his head like a grape, dude. It's so fucking gnarly. Love it. It's the most violent thing that's ever happened in Lord of the Rings lore. It was so fucking
it took
good.
me by surprise. Like, okay.
Yeah.
This is cool, but what's funny is whoever edited it did a poor job, I think, because it cuts to, I almost said Artax.
Bill. It's the ancestor of Bill, the brave pony.
Bill. It cuts to Barrick and he's fighting like a tiny spider because like Isildur is like fighting this giant Shelob thing. And then it cuts to Barrick who just has like a tick and he's like, and it's like, oh, he's doing work over there too. And it's like, stop. What's going on right now? But eventually he does hop on his back and flee the cave. So now we've got Isildur reunited with Barrick. Everybody has already had a funeral or elsewhere. That's what's going on, like a funeral for him. So nope, he's not dead. He's alive. We cut to Eärien, who's Isildur's sister. You may have forgotten.
I did.
And she wants to tell Elendil that Pharazôn sucks. And then this is like what is this, like the dinner party, funeral part? I forget what the context of this.
They're paying respects to the king. Yeah, it's like his funeral.
Yes. And Míriel shows up. Remember, she was blinded by the volcano. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
And they're all like, fuck, it's Lord Belzegar. But we don't know who that is yet. But we can tell by his name, he sucks.
Yeah. Like if you're rolling up to a party and your name is Belzegar, that guy's a problem.
It sounds like a demon. Like one of the
Balthazar.
He rules one of the circles of hell, almost assuredly.
But he's also a lord. So.
And then this chick comes up and slaps the taste out of the blind queen's mouth, which was so not cool.
Yeah.
Like, that is
like we're at a funeral, madam.
But the queen, I actually did like this scene because she's like, don't beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Who did you, she turns out she lost her son in the battle that she's blaming me. And Míriel's like, that I totes get it. In your grief, I also would slap a blind person and just hugs her. And it's really endearing, that she's able to have empathy even with the sting on her cheek. And Pharazôn goes to visit Míriel. Remember, Pharazôn is Míriel's cousin. So they both have, again, it's very Game of Thrones. They both have a claim to the throne. And she's hiding this fucking bangle. It took me a minute. I have no idea what that was, but I gathered it quickly when she uses it and I could see it. Because at first it's like, what the fuck is going on? And he's being very kind of vaguely threatening, but also ostensibly supportive, like, oh, let's pick a color for your coronation. Which one do you like? Oh, you're blind? I've got a white dress and a red dress. And she chooses the white because that's what her father would wear. And
I thought for sure he was going to hand her the red after that.
Kind of, he's like, I like the red. I don't even know why I asked you. This is what I'm going with. And she's like, no. It's too gaudy. The white is more humble.
Yeah, because white is humble. It's also a symbol of the past and stability. But he wants red because crimson is
Show him your
Numenor's future. Yeah.
But she chooses the white.
And he kind of lays down like, hey, I don't hear from me, but I heard there's a rumor that an eagle might be showing up to this coronation.
That would be auspicious.
A whole ass eagle.
The last time an eagle showed up was at her father's coronation. We usually don't get those around these parts. I sent a few invites to eagle bars that I hang out at.
They said maybe.
They said, "Caw-caw," which I assume is a yes.
An eagle is showing up. Unfortunately, it's Sam the eagle from the Muppets, and no one likes hanging out with him.
What if it was Eddie the eagle?
Ooh.
Remember that?
No.
You know who Shaun White is?
Shaun White's snowboarder?
Okay.
He knows.
Yeah. Apparently I'm the only one who doesn't know who Shaun White is. Whatever. Just wanted to throw that out there. Just wanted to see.
You're just testing if you're the only one.
Yeah, I was going to be like vindicated. The snowboarder?
Literally, like no one, everyone on Discord has been like, yeah, I know Shaun White. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
they're all making fun of me.
They're also making fun of us for not knowing why Jared Leto's popular in the 90s.
Yeah, he had a TV show apparently.
Yeah.
He did?
Never even heard of that show.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
What show was it?
I forget.
Couldn't tell you.
I didn't know either, for what it's worth.
Yeah. We were like, we were on the pod like, was Requiem for a Dream out yet? They're all just listening like these stupid bastards.
Dang, all right then.
But Pharazôn is at the bar doing some light treasons, right? Well, people are treasoning to him. Like, is it Elendil? It's like, you should be the king. You're so much cooler.
It's Balzagar.
Is it Belzegar?
It's Balzagar.
And who's Elendil?
I don't know. Who is Elendil?
I just wrote that.
Elendil. Elendil is Isildur's
His
dude.
bestie.
His bestie that
comes in and punks out the
threatens
kid.
Kevin.
That's right, because I wrote
Kevin?
Elendil or some
called
shit. Shits on Pharazôn's kid. And I didn't know who that was, but it's Elendil. Gotcha.
Dude, I hate Kevin so much. Like, that dude is like...
Is that Pharazôn's dude? He's like a little Nepo baby?
Every time he talks, I'm like, what are you doing here?
If this
what
show-
have you done to earn where you're standing?
If the
you
Rings
Nepo
of Power
baby?
was in 1980s America, he would be just like the bully at the high school, you know, the rich kid.
You're wearing a toga, all right?
Yeah.
Everyone in Númenor wears blue. Why have you not gotten the fucking memo, dude? Wearing a
Elendil
white ass toga.
punks him out, okay? And it turns out that, well, go ahead.
No, I love the way Elendil punks him out. It's great where he comes up and he's like, hey,
We can settle this right now.
heard you were paying respects to the king. And Kevin's like, pity the common soldiers were invited. And he's like, oh, especially that what type of class of person that were. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, like a
About to throw
Shakespearean
down.
insult. He says,
Did you insult my father? No, I insulted you, bitch.
I bite my thumb at you.
I found you.
outside Kashmir. How about that? So we discovered that the bangle, or maybe we already knew that if you remembered more than I did, is the key to this like secret closet that the High King had. And it's where he keeps his palantír, right? And it's this scene is intercut with Eärien snitching to like Pharazôn and shit of all people about, I've got some hot goss. And the palantír is missing is what Míriel discovers. How long do you think it took her to make for darn sure it wasn't in there?
Oh, God. Yeah, seriously, dude.
Oh, that's so terrible. Yeah, you're right. We didn't see the 2 hours that they cut away from of her. Like, did it fall? Did it roll under something? Servant, come in here. Look
Back
for
and
a
forth
ball.
like a Roomba.
It might even end the room.
All right, everyone, just imagine it's blinking and it's okay.
She's like, the palantír is gone. And then somebody comes in after like an hour. Why are you in the bathroom?
Oh, false alarm.
We cut to Adar's homies, the orcs, do not want to go to war. I just want to raise my orcs babies and just get orcsy as much as possible.
Must we go to war again, Lord Father?
They're so sad about that. They just wanted to raise their orc children.
We finally got a cool home where there's no sunshine to burn our skin.
I want to play pickleball, my lord.
I got the team ready to go.
I just want to dance.
Like no one's watching.
Just like Twain said in Star Trek.
Starship. I love how that guy's name's Glug.
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 That's what your mom's name is. Because she
Got him.
You get it? We're introduced to Damrod the Hill Troll. Apparently, I guess Adar had sent an emissary who came back as only a head.
Do you think Adar's like, dang it, man, that's one of my
Carl.
children. That's one of my children.
He didn't look sad.
That's why he sent the one he didn't like.
Yeah. Like, I fucking hate that guy. He gets picked last every time for pickleball. There's no purpose for him here.
I just want to be on the pickleball team.
What's up with this whole Damrod the Hill Troll thing? Because who also, where is Sauron? He owes me money.
Everybody hates Sauron, dude.
That's true.
I love the idea that all the scary monsters that we know from Lord of the Rings actually just all hate Sauron.
Yeah, seriously.
Fucking hate him, man.
He thinks he's so pretty with his little faces and his baubles.
I hate him.
I hate him so much.
I'm gonna dead him.
One time he pretended to be my wife and I went into bed and it was him the whole time and he said, gotcha. Oh, I didn't like it. I did not.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
He'd been deceiving me again. I like dude's loincloth made of skulls, though.
I didn't even catch that.
Did he have a
Just
loincloth?
he had a loincloth, just all skulls.
I need more skulls to cover my damn rod. That's not even his name.
My damn rod.
That's what he says all the time.
Damn rod.
Everybody takes a look at it and go, damn.
Yeah.
Rod.
That's my damn rod. He's the ill troll. That's what they say in England. An ill troll.
No troll.
Where is Sauron? So I guess we're going to have Sauron's got beef with this troll. We cut to Durin and Disa, who arrive at Eärien, and they're there for the rings for the dwarves, right? And we need more mithril. And, Durin, like many others before him, is a little suspicious about this. Oh, you just want more mithril, huh? How do I know these rings are going to help? It's a little weird. By the way, this is a long way from Khazad-dûm. I don't enjoy coming over here, right? And who the fuck is this guy?
I don't like the cut of his jib.
And Annatar's like, don't worry about it. And he's like, no, seriously, I really need to know
I
who
want
you
to
are.
know. Yeah.
It's important. And he knows that something's up. He's like, Elrond would never say such nice things about me. It's one of the things that he notices,
Annatar
right?
tries to play him, but it don't work. He's like, we heard that you were the wisest one. Is that true or nah?
Definitely not.
And he's like, fuck off.
No, it's definitely not.
Sauron's finding out that you can't deceive a deceiver.
That's right.
Like Durin the Younger.
And Disa says you at least have to tell your dad this idea. It's up to him. And he's like, well, I'm not going to talk to him because that's why they called him there. We know. We feel like you could talk to your pops for us.
Yeah, King Durin.
Joke's on you. I don't talk to him anymore.
He's not a big fan of us, the elves. He's not into it. He's still upset about the whole we wanted to steal your mithril thing.
Which we do. We know it seems fishy because in order to enact this plan, we need, guess what? Mithril. However, that's just a coincidence.
Really, you're giving it to us so we can give it back to you.
In
Just
ring
prettier.
form.
In
Bauble
ring
form.
form.
Baubles. I hate them. I'm so pretty. Disa says, you tell him or I will, right? And of
Magic
course,
rings. Does none of this sound strange to you? Love that line. Because it does sound, when you really sit back and like,
Yeah.
wait, the answer to all our dilemmas about a mountain falling down, our souls in the trees being extinguished, are rings?
Right.
Magic rings? How silly.
you know how mithril was formed? Do you remember?
It was like lightning
it was-
striking the tree or something.
It was the purest of the elves fighting a Balrog, and then lightning struck the tree that they were by, and then the pureness of the elf and the darkness of the Balrog bled into the root system of the tree and bled into the whole mountain.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's just science.
you know.
That's right. But it's the slow drip that splits the boulder,
That's
right?
a great line.
Be patient, Annatar. But this is where Sauron is like, the reason I'm not patient is because Gil-galad doesn't want any more rings from you.
I said it. Sorry. I was trying to spare you the truth.
What? Yeah, he doesn't like he thinks your rings are ass or something. I forget what he said. I think he said he was going to use your next ring as a cock ring, if anything.
Well, the High King,
What?
he thinks the dwarves are unworthy of this power. Yeah, I know. Not cool to say in 2024. I know.
Yeah.
In the second age, no less. We're
It's the
still on about
second
this.
age? Come on, guys. It's the second age.
However, Celebrimbor was immediately deceived by the deceiver. He starts drafting a letter.
I'm going to write a letter. I'm so upset. Get me my quill. And parchment.
Dear HR,
Oh, I'm so mad I already went through a quill. I pressed down too hard.
he's writing HR. I'm going to tell the High King I closed the forge.
I'm going to send him a little fib. Celebrimbor is being a bit naughty.
I'm a dirty little boy.
Ooh. Tell me you're going to write a letter.
I'm telling him it's closed, but it's open. He'll never look.
Hello. It's Celebrimbor.
Hope you're well.
How are you? Send.
Now we wait.
Now we wait.
Nothing could happen to the messengers.
This is my moment and he will not take it away.
Yeah, so I've been training, honing my craft for, we assume, a couple thousand years, long time. Mm-hmm. And now it's my time to shine. He's the king, and the High King, no less. He's got two names, Gil-galad. He's hyphenated. That's so fucking pretentious.
So pretentious. Have you seen his dumb hat?
Oh, hate it. Gilding the lily. This episode of Streaming Things is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Steve, there's something I need to get off my chest.
What's that, fella?
It's been weighing on me. You know that I resigned at the day job recently, right? And I've been a little scared. There's a family to worry about. There's health insurance. There's capitalism.
Sounds like a stressful time.
But we all carry around different stressors, big and small. And it feels better when you bring something to the light and keep them bottled up. It can start to affect us negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. In my case, it's all of the stress, the misery, the fear. But I had to come over here and share that with you, and I felt better. That's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
Unloading all that on you and Erica and feeling better myself.
That sounds like my Friday night.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're not vibing, that's completely fine. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
Knock, knock, who's there? It's the month of August. Oh my gosh, how are you here already? 2024 is going by way too fast, but you know what's not going to go by way too fast? Our thanks and appreciation for all of our Patreon supporters who keep the lights on for us over here at Streaming Things. And I want to give a special shout out to our super Patreon supporters for the month of August. So thank you to Bing Boom Bang Boom, Albus Stinkpot, Kit Laser Eat Me Out Like Vagar, Then I'll Ride You Like Allison. That is quite the name. Dylan Dunkley, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Parmesan, Sunshine, Ashley Hazen, Just Liz Calabria, the Justice Lizard herself, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Lofpum, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Big Butthorn, Conrad, Jer Latanovich, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog and a Barbie Car, Elpander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Linda Eklund, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Stanton Valentino, John Collins, Trisha Bueller, Sun Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Rees, Paula Garcia, Brenda Bren, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen V, Casey McCain, and Enza. Thank you all so much for helping us over here at Streaming Things, and let's get back to this episode.
We cut to Isildur drinking from the pond, or about to, but he sees dead soldiers underneath the water, reminiscent of when Frodo and Gollum.
Don't follow the lights.
Right? That's what that's for, right?
Yeah, that was like my one Easter egg. Way to go.
Sorry, that is an
That's
Easter egg
okay.
type shit.
Damn.
Oh, well.
We'll bring it back up later.
I'm sure we will. But he comes upon a slaughtered camp. And that's a weird way to phrase it. And he starts looking around, and there's like a woman hanging out in there somewhere. And she thinks he's an orc, she says, and stabs his leg in the thigh. It's right. That's the fucking femoral artery. And he's like, it's good. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm walking off.
It's Ace Ventura when nature calls.
Yeah.
It's in the bone. It's in the bone.
You're meant to leave it in.
I love that bit where he's like, you're meant to leave it in. She pulls it out and he's like, how do you know that? I don't know. I've never been stabbed before.
Neither had I.
I actually like this scene. I like this bit. And you're right. There is a little more love for Isildur. I wish he was less derpy.
Yeah. But
then again, he's like legendarily
derpy.
Like he makes a bad move. Yeah. So I guess that's fine. But her name is Estrid. If you've read the lore, you know who she is, but that's who she is. He's bleeding profusely. But yes, they're going to Pelargir on the map. So they in my next note, they arrive at Pelargir. They were almost there. And he sees this old man waylaid by orcs who's like, oh, my stuff.
Oh, my poor stuff.
Oh, hello. Ooh. Can you travel, sir?
No.
Look. He goes, look at me.
Look at me.
You look fine, you lazy old bitch. What does that mean?
But I'm not.
No.
I can't be.
Can't you see my wounds?
I love how Isildur's like, okay. And then,
well,
I guess, should we give him food?
Yeah, what do we do now?
Oh, I'm just laying around all my food and stuff.
If
Estrid,
only.
give me the potato.
I don't want to. Estrid wants to leave. She knows it's a trap, and the old man's like, it's okay.
Get him, boys. Oh, hey, S. How's it going?
Oh, yeah, because it's like a homie. You want me to clamp him, boss? But no, it was a Sauron servant trap. They've all got the the trident of Sauron, whatever the fuck that is. But no, Archer to the rescue. It's Eärien, who was apparently also hiding in that wagon because he busts out of it. I was also here.
Oh, he jumps down from a tree.
He jumps out from a tree and Kool-Aid Man's out of that wagon.
Oh, it was so cool, though.
It's funnier if he's just in there.
I've been here the whole time. How about you?
Sneaky as fuck, dude.
The trapper has been trapped. I am also going to Pelargir.
But then he stabs the fuck out of all those people with just the one arrow. It's so
That's
cool.
a Legolas move.
So
he's like, pata, cut your throat, stab through like your fucking jaw through the neck, gnarly as shit, and then finally shoots the dude.
That guy wasn't even running that fast.
I know.
That was lame.
He could have like walked up behind him and
Isildur could have limped up and got that poor bastard. Where are you going, Gary? I'm out of here.
my shift's over.
Wait till I get back. Oh, fuck.
So these wild men, I thought they were like Adar guys, like dudes who had like taken up for Adar in the Southlands.
Well, they had the mark.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah, they're bad guys.
But you said Sauron.
But they've got the mark.
But didn't we see Waldreg branding them with that mark in front of Adar in the first season? So
Because he thought
Adar dudes?
Adar was Sauron, remember?
Yeah, but Adar hates Sauron.
He does. Why are they still using the same call sign then? That's what I want to know.
It's a legacy.
yeah.
It's a legacy mark.
Just honoring the.
It's a branding
It's like
issue.
the Confederate flag. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't stand for nothing great, but you keep using it. I
about
guess
states'
that's how some
rights.
people feel about it.
It's about states. Yeah, that symbol is very much like the Confederate flag, Andy. I agree.
You know?
The men of the Southlands do like symbols like that.
No, I misspoke. They're not Sauron's, whatever I said,
Homies.
brigands.
Okay.
But basically, Sauron is just evil in Lord of the Rings to me. So
You said that and I was like, wait, did I miss something? I thought I fucked
you
up.
said that, and I just thought I was distracted by how wrong you were. And
And then I thought,
It
what a dumb
shows-
fuck.
It's such a indication of my own confidence that you said that, and my first thought was, "Oh, he's fucking wrong." I was like, "What did I do that was wrong?"
I was just thinking, like, okay, he does know who Shaun White is, so he must. Oh wait. Oh wait. Well, at least he won the last Dragon Draft. Oh wait.
Disqualified.
Disqualified.
I love when they kill the dude, and Isildur's like, "Eärien, so cool to see you. It's me.
Remember me?
Remember me, Isildur?" And he's like, "Yeah,
I'm an elf.
I saw you like 3 days ago.
I don't. I know. In elf days, that's like literally an hour ago.
Elven memories do not dim."
Elven memories do not dim. And I wish somebody else would have been there to be like, also, it was like really recently.
Yeah.
So it's not that impressive that you remember that.
All human faces look the same to me. Oh shit, Elendil. Oh fuck.
He didn't say that. But he's like, these are all sad. I mean, we don't know why yet. Yeah. And we're about to all be sad because he's gathering wood is what he was doing in the woods to gather sticks for a pyre for Bronwyn, one of the main characters.
What?
Who fucking died. My next note is Theo. Ew.
I put, the pyre, but then the music during this scene.
Good music.
Unreal. So good.
Mm-hmm. I was too distracted by the fact that Bronwyn was dead.
I was too busy going, wait, who died?
Womp womp.
It took a while.
We cut to the...
It was like Theo talking to Elendil about the relationship, and the whole time you're like, hey, when they get the Bronwyn.
Yeah. She took an arrow.
I don't even know who that
She's
is.
okay, right?
The Dwarven King is being petitioned to open the royal grain reserves. Absolutely. My private bread stash is yours. 3 months worth. And that's when Durin shows up. He's there to apologize. He tells him of Celebrimbor's rings. And Durin the Third is like, is that all you got to say? Nope. I've got more. It's very painful for him, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I was wrong-ish. Okay.
I was wrong to disrespect you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And then, but he tells him like, look, Pop, I don't trust, you were right. All right. I'm not just laying it on thick. You were right. I don't trust this Eregion power. Okay. I don't think we should just wear rings. That doesn't make any sense.
That's a silly idea. Who thought of this?
I hate it.
You once said that the fate of the elves was already determined by much wiser minds than I, and that maybe by helping them it could lead to a greater catastrophe. I keep thinking to myself, what if you were right?
I said that.
I don't remember.
It was off screen between seasons.
Dwarven memories do dim.
Quite often.
And then we cut to Theo. He's sewing up Isildur's thigh wound. And he's like, have you been working out? And
You've been working out. He's like, man, you didn't cut.
oh, shit. Is this what they mean by thick?
What? Better not awaken anything in me.
Bronwyn died of a foulness in orc arrows that are not easily forgotten by human flesh. It's like her.
Wild, because she was walking around perfectly fine last time we saw her.
No. There was an orc arrow and there was a foulness in it that's not easily forgotten by human flesh.
Is that poison?
It was like super foul.
It's a foulness.
No, it's just rank, my dude.
It's like an orc fart. It's imbued into the arrow.
It's really smelly.
It's like the
in
fart.
the end.
It's like the orc farted in Bronwyn.
You know how sometimes if you fart on a vinyl car seat, it will linger.
You know how sometimes you put the blanket over their head. It's like a Dutch oven, but like times 10.
It's a Dutch oven for the soul.
But as he stares off camera wistfully.
And then he's like,
I'd love to know. No, let me do. So funny. This line is so funny.
Do it.
He tells Isildur, don't worry. Your family will be whole again, but not yours, Theo. Why does he say that with Theo right there?
I know.
Don't worry. Your family will be whole again.
But not yours.
No. Just to reiterate, your father left you. Your mother's dead. And I don't like you.
Nobody likes you.
Good luck. If Waldrick comes back from the dead, nobody likes you.
Nobody likes you.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that killed me, the way that scene played out. Because Theo's literally like, oh,
Bro.
it's just been like an hour since the foulness of the arrow, which nobody saw, by the way. Super suspicious.
This is the first time we're hearing about foul orc arrows. Okay?
When did she get shot? I'm still processing all of this. The only one around here that uses arrows is you.
I swear it was an orc one. I didn't miss.
It was a foulness. She just got elf arrow in her eye.
Oh, dang. It was a foulness. Man.
I tried to heal her.
Speaking of healers, I laugh so hard when they're Elendil and Theo are walking, and Elendil's like, hey, man, the village needs a healer. When he first said that, I felt like, okay, who are they going to go with? And then they said, it should be you, Theo. And I'm like, wait, what?
Because Bronwyn was a healer, and it's just
Sure.
he's a nepo baby healer.
I guess.
I didn't learn literally anything.
Yeah, you're the daughter of or son of a surgeon. Like, yeah, you definitely know how to heal people, right?
Well, this is back in the day when you took on the trade of your family. You know, back in the day, meaning a completely made up fake land that never happened.
You know about the alpha seeds, right?
Not this little emo fuck,
Alpha
dude.
seeds.
Eärien tells Theo not to blame himself, and he's like, "You're not my dad. I'll blame myself if I want to. It is my fault. All right."
I do like how they kind of addressed kind of how a lot of people were saying that Theo is Eärendil's kid because we never see Theo's ears and all that stuff.
That was dumb. Whoever said that's dumb.
But I like how they addressed that where Theo's like, I know my father's dead. I know you're not my father. Anything you were to me is ashes now, and we never need to speak again.
He actually says it really cunty though. He's like, did you ever meet my father when you were like watching around and stuff all this time? No. Why? Is he cool? No, I never met him either. I just know he's not you. You know what I mean? Like he went like a really circuitous, smart ass way of doing that. But yeah,
Cunty's the best way to describe Theo.
For sure.
It's a really roundabout way of saying you're not my dad. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, it's classic sitcom stuff. And then Isildur teaches Theo what an aqueduct is. These are pipes, my boy. It pumps water in, and you need a shower, actually. I'll teach you what that is if you ever come to Númenor. You stank ass bitch.
If Númenor's so grand, why'd you leave? Oh, I don't know. To save your fucking ass.
That's right. We didn't know about volcanoes.
You little
We
shit.
don't have a lot of those over in Númenor. But Theo's like, I know where your horse is. I know you like horses. Which is, I don't know why Barrick's even like not just coming right back. Why did Barrick even let somebody ride him off?
I don't know.
If he's able to.
Write him off?
I mean, if he's able to find.
Four legs.
If he's able to find Isildur tied up by Shelob, you would think he would just not let an old bastard steal him. He'd be like, no, or whatever horses
It
do.
sounds like you're victim blaming the kidnapped victim.
Yeah, you would just stand still.
Yeah, all you have to do
I
is
ain't going
not
nowhere.
run. When someone goes, yeah, you go, nah. You know? I mean, fucking Hidalgo can do that.
Let her butt.
I haven't seen that.
Her butt.
Let her butt.
No stop signs on the black road. But anyway, he's like, yeah, let's go get your horse. Meet me here at midnight. All right. Isildur and Estrid are at the campfire. She also blames herself, and Theo's dropping eaves. I did love this scene because Isildur blames himself for his mother's death, right? She drowned trying to save me. Nobody knows that I was there. They just think she just went swimming. And Theo is bawling, like.
I blame myself too.
I thought it was really, we all blame ourselves.
We all blame ourselves on Dead Mom Realm.
Everybody.
It's adjacent to Dead Dad Island. It's a Dead Mom Realm.
I really love
right.
the scene, but it felt like Estrid was trying to say I blame myself, and it very much turned into like a competition of grief.
I blame myself more.
Well, my mom drowned saving me, so there. My mom died of a foulness of Workaroos.
But I love that the advice that she gives him, he's like, I've always felt like this need to live an especially
epic life.
Because she sacrificed herself for me. I have to do something no one else has done. And she's like, no, you don't
incredible.
you don't have to earn a life. You have to accept it as a gift. Your mama loved you.
It's really great.
And Theo's like, my mom didn't love me.
I think whoever is writing these episodes clearly has a very healthy relationship with a therapist and goes to therapy, because every episode has at least one of these zingers that I'm pretty sure my therapist has said that to me at some point in some way or form.
She tells you it's a recipe for strong gravy.
All the time.
Steve, that's a recipe for strong gravy. You better not do that. Now rattle these dags. Our time's over.
Quick sticks.
Your therapist is a Harfoot. It's Poppy.
I could tell you where you can go to find apples.
I don't know how that'll help. Yeah, Aldi's.
Is it okay if my friend Poppy joins? She's going to sing just a wandering song.
He's trying to find a way to earn what she did, and Esther gives him good advice. But when they leave, she has to burn off her Adar mark that is actually a Sauron
That was
mark.
good. She was sitting there burning a blade the whole time. It's like she's just playing with the fire.
Yeah,
It's like,
poking
nah.
it with a stick. We all do that. Who doesn't poke the fire when you have one?
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Gotta poke
It's like
the
a
fire.
dead bird.
Yeah.
Pretty bird. Pretty bird.
Poke it with a stick. And he goes,
Harry, I took care of it.
I didn't kill it. I just found it.
I just poked it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. When you're a kid,
Yeah,
you
when
gotta poke it.
It's specifically a bird.
It's always a bird. If it's something bigger, it's scary. It's
Dumb
like, oh
fucks
shit.
are dead all the time.
Now I gotta get mom. If it's like a squirrel and above or a human, just poking. You want to see a dead body?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Annie Koozle. She burns off the mark, and then they're at the camp to steal Barrack back. It's all these little fuckers, right? And he's about to get caught being sneaky, but not sneaky because the horses are snitching on him. He's like, oh, I don't like Barrack.
They're like,
He's a real uppity horse. And then Theo presents himself and he fucks it up. Right. This is their plan, right? And he's like, oi, I'm evil too.
Can I share your fire? I too am one of the Adar men.
Look at this. Look at this. 5 dots.
I got a.
That's not the mark.
I think that's Sharpie.
Those are pimples. No, they're not. They're cooler than your marks because
that-
guess what?
Is that from the
It's the
sword he had
yeah.
that like
Yeah.
bled into him? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I totally forgot about the sword. So when he first like, look at this. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, kid?
And he's like makes his armpit fart.
it's
Watch
like,
this.
It's proof I done more than you.
That's right.
The fuck does that mean?
Yeah, the volcano. You know about that? Technically me, by extension.
Yeah, I saw it. What the fuck's your arm got to do with that?
But no, someone's been attacking 3 of our camps, right? And let's lay out some prediction. I think it's actually pretty obvious what's going on there. But someone's been attacking 3 of their camps already. So they drop that in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like
3, the number of elven rings.
bunch of shit. the number of movies in the original Peter Jackson trilogy.
Are you talking about the numbers?
And then one of those attacks pops off. Theo is taken. We can only hope he's dead. But I don't think so.
God willing.
Anyway, it ends, right?
Yeah, I mean,
has to
the
be.
sound happens and the camera pulls way up above Theo, right?
Right.
Like it's
Big
it's
thing.
net.
Either it's Dimrod or what? What's his name? Damrod.
Damrod.
Damn.
Are you Sauron?
I saw those marks on your arm.
Just give him a little like,
He's nearsighted. No. No. No.
One of you has to be Sauron. Oh, I'm looking for the most pretty one. This one is so good.
you got all
looking.
these baubles.
Only one bauble. You're a 6. I'm looking for a 10.
Kentucky 8.
You're an orc 10. Yeah, it's got to be ends, right?
I'm lightheaded from laughing so much.
we go to Míriel's coronation, and it's for Isildur, says Eärien, and she comes in and she's like, "This elf stone was your queen.
What's her goddamn problem?
I don't fucking like her. She got my brother killed." She's just sad about Isildur, I guess.
I just want somebody in the back. Fuck's that stone?
It's an elf stone.
What? Are you going bowling?
So she's claiming
What does she do with it?
that's right.
It's a magic stone.
She basically found the super PAC and she's exposing it to everybody. Like, Míriel works for BlackRock.
Oh, no.
Can't vote for her.
Oh, man.
And Farazan's like, oh, this is my opportunity. No, Míriel would never do that. No true ruler would do that.
No.
Destroy it. And Muriel's like, no,
It's mine.
don't take my rock. I named it
What's the name?
Dwayne Johnson.
Are you saying that Rock is Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah. Box office.
You ever seen Be Cool?
Be cool. That's your Dwayne Johnson movie.
Any hoozle. And this is where they're like, let's January 6th. The only thing more patriotic would be is if a fucking eagle showed up.
Oh, there it is. I'm doing
And like
all
electric
I'm
guitar
saying.
anthem. Do the whole. That's not. That's not the anthem. No wonder Steve hates baseball games. They're playing the wrong song.
Happy New Year.
What are you, secretly Canadian?
This episode's going to be incomprehensible for people.
Yeah, it's just the national anthem. Who knows it really? And the Eagles, they're like, the Eagle favors Farazon.
That eagle is so confused.
I speak Eagle. He voted for him twice.
Farazon. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Belzegar started doing that, but no one joined in? Okay.
I read the room wrong.
Sorry.
But yeah, and by the way, I thought it was a cool touch that Farazon was wearing the red, the future, right? Then I told her to wear the red.
Everyone in Númenor is wearing red, white, or blue.
You've got red on you.
I love that red. Vote for him.
That's right. And then Durin brings the mithril for the dwarf rings. So apparently the dead relented, right? But as he's about to drop it into the molten goo, Annatar, Sauron, grabs the mithril. Do evil stuff and
Because that was a big thing with the elven rings is they're like, we can use these rings. Sauron never directly influenced these rings. He didn't touch them or anything. And now he's directly touching these dwarven ones.
And then Bette Midler popped out of the lava. I put a spell on you.
And now you're mine.
That's right. He does some fuck shit to it before dropping it in. And that is the end of episode 3. Andy, now it's time for our old Tobeys, our finest moments in the South Farthing. Andy, what is your number 3 favorite moment of the episode?
My number 3 favorite moment is when Valandir punks out Farazan's son, Kevin. It just was cool.
I'm so glad you're calling him Kevin and not Kemen, because there's something gross about that name.
Yeah, it's
I don't
a terrible
like it.
name. I don't like it. Just because when you have a smarmy piece of shit character like that, it's fun to have them get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
You know?
Phenomenal.
It's like, I want him to do that to every one of these human characters, but at least we got one.
Word.
We got one.
Steve.
My number 3 is Farazon and the eagle scene. Anytime Lord of the Rings. That's how you summon the eagles. You just start playing on and singing on your guitar. I love that shot of the eagle behind him, and he's got like the sword, and he like kind of does a cool little pose with it. Like it's very ominous and menacing. Like, ooh, this doesn't feel good for Númenor. And I know at the top of the show I said like I don't care about Númenor. This story, like these characters, I'm not into. But I do got to say, like with this happening, with this sort of coup going on, coup d'etat. I honestly was kind of like, okay, I'm all right. I'm a little interested to see where this goes now. Like my interest is piqued, and I kind of want to know how like the political fallout of what happens, because I love Game of Thrones. I like garden conniving. Farazon seems like the kind of guy who either garden connives in his free time or is
just a gardener,
or hangs out with Jack Black and gets beer tips from him. So
he does have a glorious beard.
I heard beer tits, and I was like, that's something you could probably get from Jack Black.
Definitely.
Are you guys doing a Captain Tet?
You want to join Tenacious D, Farazon? You look the part.
Heard we're pulling a Captain Tet on Míriel tonight.
Captain Ted.
My number 3 is the Eärien popping out of the wagon, spinny elf stuff, arrows, fighting, cool stuff. Big fan. I don't like much of this episode, but I like that. Andy?
Yeah. That's awesome. It's so cool. I had that on here, but I actually changed my list at the last moment. I'm going to say that my number 2 is that moment when the spider pops that orc's head like a grape, just because it was so violent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it caught me by such surprise. Also, really like that whole fight sequence, like him fighting the orc and then the spider popping its head. And then even the fight with the spider, like there's this really cool like spoopy moment where like the spider gets away and he's like, where is it? Where is it? You can see it behind it. And then the spider gets on his back and he like throws it. And then it like Spider-Man like latches onto him and pulls back and attacks him from the front. And I was like, this is a really cool fight for just a spider.
And he grabs his little head
mandibles.
explodies and he's like, don't do that.
I don't like that.
No.
No, shoot.
It was cool action scene.
Spider fight number 2. Steve, you're number 2.
My number 2 is the Durins reuniting, King Durin and Durin the Younger reuniting. And I love Durin. I think like you, Kit, he's my favorite character. And I love dwarves. They're my favorite part of Lord of the Rings. And just seeing them like these two strong-willed individuals, like, is that all you came to say? Like, I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
That's my number 2 as well. The Durin's reunion. The Durin and Durin. Mm-hmm. You know what?
They're Durin it.
Yeah, we're going to see Durin the best we can. Andy, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is the scene with Estrid and Isildur. Kind of just comparing grief. But I loved getting some backstory to Isildur and finding out that he's Elder Price from Book of Mormon that's trying to do something incredible was pretty fun.
Hello.
I also love the way that they began and ended the scene with Estrid chilling with her knife poking the fire and like it being like, oh, she wasn't just poking, she was doing something with it. It was a nice little aha moment. Cool scene.
Steve.
My number 1 moment, I have it listed as Celebrimbor's Dwarven TED Talk. The scene where Celebrimbor's meeting with Durin and Annatar and he's kind of telling them like, hey, these rings worked out well. They healed our trees and we want to make some for you to heal your mountain. I don't know. I'm really finding myself, I love whenever they're kind of explaining the logistical, day-to-day use for why someone wants, like, because when you watch the original trilogy of movies, the Peter Jackson movies, you're just kind of like, well, what did the Rings of Power do? What was their purpose? Why did people like, yeah, I'll take that. Other than just like, I want power, right? But what does that like conceptually mean other than just like power for power's sake? So I like the idea of like, there's actually a function, like these rings helped us save our plight with our tree going out. These rings that we're making for you will help you with the plight of the mountain. And you add in just the extra layer of like, who's Annatar? Do we trust the elves? Do we trust the dwarves? All that stuff. It's very yummy and good for the lore.
It's like the ShamWow guys. Like, you got problems with your trees? You got mountains crumbling around you? Do you like fishing? Call 1-800 Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Buyers now will throw in a ShamWow.
Slap chop.
But wait, there's more.
My number 1 is Andy's number 1.
I just got an image of a Rings of Power box with the corners that says, as seen on TV.
2 for the brass wound.
As seen in the vision. As seen on the palantír. My number 1 is the same as Andy's. It's the discussion about Isildur's mom.
Mommy?
But I never thought I'd have a favorite old Tobey. Number 1 old Tobey that involved Theo. But I do. I mean, his crying in the background is what like is the emotional breaking point for me. And way to go, buddy. Way to go.
He's doing it.
It's just a great scene. Excited to see more of Estrid and love their banter, That's it there. Too bad Theo's dead though.
Yep.
Yeah, too
Picked
bad.
up by an ant.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
The tree ate him.
will not be missed.
Just like his mom, he's dying off screen.
Now it's time for our one performance to rule them all. Our favorite performance of the episode. Andy, who are you nominating?
It's I think a first for the show and maybe the last, but I'm going to give it to Maxim Baldry, who plays Isildur. I liked him this episode. That's the first time I've liked him. And especially like the action scenes that he was in, he had all the best moments, or at least was present for all the best moments for my money. I thought he did great.
Steve?
I'm giving mine to Peter Mullen, who plays King Durin the Elder.
Really?
Yeah, I just really like that guy's performance and, sort of seeing him the way, that scene with him and Durin the Younger sort of reuniting and coming together. I just love his sort of hesitant, he's still pig-headed and stubborn in that scene because he comes in and says, "Hey, I'm telling you about Celebrimbor's plan." And he's like, "Is that all you have to say?" Like just like that's a total dad thing, I feel. And I just love that character in general. So I'm going to give this one to Peter. Or should we give it to Beric?
No.
Dondarrion.
That horse, there's no range,
Bye-bye, Bill.
I think I'm going to give it to, I'm really torn because I wanted to give it to Max and Baldry as well, but I think I got to give
What
it to
a cool name.
Owen Arthur, I think.
Another cool name.
Durin, man.
During the Younger.
That dude's unrecognizably Durin. Like,
Yeah.
do you ever see a picture of what he actually looks like?
Yeah,
It's like, what? I know he's got the prosthetic nose and stuff, obviously, but it's like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Owen Arthur for all the same reasons you gave it to his dad. I just fucking love that guy. He's such a wonderful character. He breathes such life into Durin, and is always a pleasure to watch.
So I Googled Owen Arthur to see what he looked like. And it came up with a black guy who was the 5th Prime Minister of Barbados. And you're like, he is unrecognizable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no shit.
Yeah, no, it's Owain Arthur.
Owain, okay.
Yeah, Owain Arthur. But yeah, that's the end of our episode 3 coverage. Tune in this Thursday, again, by 9 a.m. Every Thursday, you'll have, that week's Rings of Power episode coverage. So you'll have all day to watch the show, and whenever you can, watch listen to the podcast or watch it on YouTube. I don't know what you do. But yeah, email the show, streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Do not forget your live show tickets. They are going fast now that we're approaching the actual date. People are kind of making more plans a lot more quickly and stuff, but we want to get as many people there as we can. So that's all the time we have for right now. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, streaming the Rings of Power.
Happy streaming.